I'd like to call the town board meeting of the town of Lake Mills to order. It is May 14th, 2019. It's 8 p.m. The notice for this meeting was posted at the town hall, the North End Boat Launch, the cul-de-sac on Finch Brothers Road, and also on the town's website. The second item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda.
Make a motion to approve May's agenda as printed.
Second the motion.
All right, thank you. Is there any discussion on the agenda? Hearing none, all in favor of approving the agenda as published, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and all oppose the same sign. Item 3, approval of the minutes from our monthly board meeting in April of 2019.
I'll make a motion to approve minutes, April's meeting.
Second.
Is there any discussion on the minutes? Thank you, Robin. All in favor of approving the minutes from the April 16th, 2019 meeting, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and all opposed, the same sign. The minutes are approved. Item 4, approval of the treasurer's report. May 19th, May 2019. I don't know what you're gonna do about these people who don't cash checks, Sharon.
I don't know, that Ellen moved out east and
Yeah,
the only ones outstanding right now are the Wisconsin Cartridge and a Native Tree Service.
okay, great.
The other ones have been
All right,
cashed
all
after.
right.
Make a motion to approve May's treasurer's report.
And I'll second that. Is there any discussion or questions on the May treasurer's report? Hearing none, all in favor of approving the report as printed, please say aye.
Aye.
And all opposed, the same sign. Treasurer's report is approved. Moving on to the approval of the general fund vouching. Deal with the disbursements first. I would motion to approve disbursements of,
Right here.
yeah, $100,582.46.
Second.
Is there any discussion or questions on the,
That's the
I
one.
didn't see this one.
yeah,
Here, fold it in half,
on the disbursements, are there any questions? Dave, I count on you for this, now what's up?
Hey, it's all good. It's all good. Except for the second quarter fire dues, but I guess we gotta pay them. It just gets to be a lot of money. So, but now it's fine.
Thank you for your input. All right, a motion to approve? We made that.
Yep, it's been
All in
seconded.
favor of approving the disbursements, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and all opposed, the same sign. Disbursements are approved. Item 6, reports. A, Ryan Walters is here in place of our steady Eddie Chief Matt Miller. Please give us your police report.
All right, so in April, 64 patrol hours, 5 complaints, took 5.5 hours to cover those 5 complaints. No crashes. There were 37 traffic stops, 17 warnings, 27 citations, 24 hours of radar that was ran, 2 ordinance citations, 2 residence checks, 27 park checks, and 5 extra patrols that we covered. That's all I got.
Anything else you want to tell us? I guess the boat and the
Oh,
PWC?
the boats,
are
yeah,
in
the boats
water?
are going in the water Friday. We'll have patrol out Saturday for the regatta that's already up and coming this weekend. I installed the battery on the PWC today and had to rewire some stuff because it got corroded. So we'll have working lights on the PWC as well. But everything's going in Friday, the piers are in. So we'll have our boating season will kick off here starting Saturday.
Great, thank you. Thanks for coming too, Ryan.
Yeah, no
Appreciate
problem.
that. Item B, Joint Rock Lake Committee report. I was at the last Joint Rock Lake Committee, and we heard a presentation from Dustin Wolf about the planned improvements for Sandy Beach, which I thought was very interesting. And the other thing that happened, and we kind of need to pick up the pieces after it, there was a lake cleanup last Saturday. I think it was very successful. Steve and I picked up like 8 bags of garlic mustard today and got rid of those. There is a pile of debris at Ferry Park, and that'll need to get picked up. Work with Johns on that or somebody else. I don't know how we're going to handle that exactly. But I think that was very successful. Looked over the boat launch at Ferry Park with Mike and with Jerry Grzinski, and we talked a little bit about some of the things that might need to be improved as far as facilities at Ferry go. The porta potty is there. There is a fence that is in very bad repair. I'm trying to see if someone would help us rebuild that. And also, the swimming buoys are laying there on the shore, and I think maybe they need some attention. And so I worked with Jerry on that. He felt like he needed some new supplies for the buoys, although he has them all in the water, so I don't know. Continue to work with him on that and get that mess at Ferry Park cleaned up, and hopefully that'll get slicked up a little bit before the season gets into full swing. Other than that, I don't know exactly what the goals for the Joint Rock Lake Committee are going to be into the future, but I know they did ask, they have an article that they submitted about boating accidents that they would like to have published, and we all thought that the publishing costs for the Lake Mills Leader was really high, and so we've published it on our website and on the, hopefully on the city's website, and perhaps maybe we'll run something later, but I think it was just as well received that way. I don't want to thwart what those guys are doing, but it just seemed like $500 to print this article was too much for the Leader. So we have it on our websites if you choose to look at it. It talks about boating accidents, things that cause trouble on the lake, and it was purely informational. So if you need to look at it, I appreciate it if you would, on the website.
Under lake information.
Lake information, all right. Item C, Planning Commission report. Jim, you're new to this.
There's no meeting.
There was
last
no
month.
meeting.
What a good deal, huh?
But, you know, was I officially appointed to that plan commission? Do I have to be? I don't have an ordinance, so I don't know what that ordinance says. It just says, I gotta get the ordinances from Lee. He didn't give me anything.
Okay. Well, let's cover that before, they installed their officers at their last meeting, and so.
I mean, I'll do it, but I don't think it's been officially sanctioned.
All right.
By the board, so.
You just have to appoint him.
I guess that I'll make a motion to appoint Jim Hines as the town board appointment to the Planning Commission through 2021.
Can we do that without it being on the agenda?
Well, I guess we just did. I motioned it.
Second.
Is there any discussion on this? Hearing none. All in favor of approving Jim to serve on the Planning Commission, please say aye.
Aye.
And all opposed, same sign. We get in trouble for that, or it's be really hot water.
I'll swear you in before the next
Yes.
planning commission meeting then.
And hopefully they will meet in June. I think there are some things already on their agenda. Shaping
Yes,
up.
we will have some zoning. Actually, I don't have to swear him in. He's already sworn in as a town
And
board.
you
Right.
kind of know the
Yeah.
routine, Jim, they have their little packets over there, and you kind of know the routine. You need to go over that, we will after the meeting. Appreciate that. I appreciate your service.
All right.
All right, Dave, other committee reports?
Nope.
Cambridge Fire Commission, are you sure? You don't want to say anything?
We don't have anything until June, I think.
Okay. Appreciate your service there, too. Item 7, a period of public comment and questions for anything that is not on the agenda for discussion purposes only. Is there anyone here who would like to make a public comment?
Never have a quiet moment. Move
No,
on.
no one's calling in, so, all right. We'll move on to A, application reviews, a discussion and decision on a request for a special event permit made by Tanya Smith for the Trinity Lutheran Family Bike Ride to be held September 9th, 2019. All right. Yeah, go ahead. Tell us who you are and what you're all about. I appreciate it.
First, I guess I'd like to kind of point out, I'm not sure where the September 9th came, but it should be actually September 21st, which is a Saturday.
Yeah,
So-
this is, we have it here.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I wrote that in wrong, so if I did, I apologize. I don't have a
It's
copy.
on
on
your
your
application,
application,
right?
For the 9th?
No, for the 21st.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, you know, it says 9/21, so probably picked up the 9 off of that. Apologize.
No problem.
It's all good. Well, my name is Tanya Smith, and I'm, I guess, representing Trinity Lutheran today. We are actually just looking to do a friendly family bike ride around the lake. This was kind of initially thought of from my husband Adam Smith as a community outreach, but we decided just to kind of start off with just opening it up to our church only, capping it off probably anywhere between 50. If we have more than 50 interested, we would be surprised. But there would be absolutely no more than 100 if that kind of helps. We're trying to keep this as simple as possible. Pretty much doing a sign-up sheet at church, see who's interested, probably doing more of a donation situation if people want to help donate to ice cream floats afterwards. There's no bands, there's nothing being rented for this at all. Parking is going to be in our church parking lot. And it will start, I believe I had written down 10 to 1. And so we just plan on having, it's not a race by any means. It's never going to be something that we will do as a, not professional riders, but avid road bikers, anything too big. So it's strictly just family, and it'll be going through Lake Mills, trying to avoid major roads, and then on the Aslan Trail, which I did speak to them, and they said that I could submit that day, and it would be free for all of our participants, because it's a nonprofit event. And then going north through Korth Park and down, I don't remember what road that I have marked, unfortunately, kind of round. It's about a 7-mile jaunt. And I did include a map for you guys to take a look at that. So I have, right now, the city has approved our permit, and I have it submitted for the Aslan Trail and just need your guys' approval.
So it looks like it's Elm Point Road through Korth Park,
Yeah,
through Short Hills.
yes, ma'am. Thank you.
I think your permit looks totally complete.
Yeah, well put together.
I tried to fill out as much as I could with us not, I don't have a committee yet.
Yeah, but you know, you've got your insurance certificate and your
Yes.
tax exempt status, and you have a route map, and that's what we're looking for.
Okay.
You know, and you know full well that this is a year of construction. Don't know where we'll be by September 21st, but I hope we're in really good shape, so.
Yeah, and we want to try to stay off of Main Street, which is the only thing that I'm aware of under construction, just to stay more in the housing area and only a little bit. But yeah, we'll work with that once we get there. We don't plan on blocking any roads or actually still trying to figure out signage. I was gonna maybe ask your guys' opinions if there's something that the town has really liked in the past regarding signage, whether it be marking on the street or preferred signage like in the grass or ground.
I would say that the town of Lake Mills is inundated by special events, especially in the early part of June. And so as these events transpire, you might just kind of hang around and kind of see what happens.
Happens
One
good.
of the things that we get most complaints about with our events are traffic congestion, inability of bike riders to follow the rules as
Okay.
far as stopping at stop signs and riding 2 or 3 abreast, and littering. Those have been the 3 issues that we've had so far. And I don't imagine that the people that you are inviting are strangers to our town.
No.
And so we just like to say that we want safety to be the first concern and the health and well-being of the rest of the residents, so that if you're hanging up a road, you know,
Right.
with 150 bike riders or 550 bike riders, that, you know, you respect the residents as they go forward. I don't see any issues with your
Yeah.
permit. I compliment you on keeping it all together, and good luck with pulling it together, because it's kind of nice to have some local events
Yeah.
shared with events that are of statewide importance, you know, like the triathlon and those kind of things. So
Right.
this is going to be a challenging year for these permits. So
Yeah.
I would motion to grant a permit to Tanya for the Trinity Lutheran Family Bike Ride to be held on 9/21/19 from 10 until 1.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
The answer to your question is, we get both ways, but the washable paint on the road, you know, with rainwater works really well.
Okay.
Some people put, you know, the little signs up with the wires on,
Right.
you know, and then come, you know, back, you know, and pull them out, so.
Right. Yep. Which we
Or
do.
the stick on the road arrows, you know, they work too.
Okay.
Pretty sustainable rather than to have to
Just so they don't hang around too long.
rinse
Right.
up everything.
Right. Okay.
Your group is gonna know where they're going. They're not like a bunch of out-of-towners. They'll
No.
follow each other. All right, good luck.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Oh,
call the
I'm sorry.
question. Yep.
All in favor of approving the special event permit for Tanya, please say aye.
Aye.
And all opposed, the same sign.
Thank you.
You're good to go.
I'll send you a copy of the sign.
And stay tuned, you know, as weather or issues or, you know, things come up as far as construction goes.
Right.
Because we have our own police force, they'll be helping, they'll be on task, so
Okay.
just communicate, okay?
Okay.
Great.
Fabulous. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah. Thank you.
I still think you should have made a public comment or question.
You need a copy of that for your calendar.
Bye. Thank you. Old business, number 9. A, discussion and decision on snow removal service contract and bid from Forest Landscaping and Construction.
I contacted him and asked him to attend.
Okay. Seeing that he's not here, I guess has given us a bid. You guys have had a chance to look at this. He would only contract for 19 and 20. I guess I'm going to continue to pursue him and make sure that he comes to the table here.
So then you're gonna improve this, or you're gonna talk with them?
I would like it if he would appear in front of us and bid this contract for a 3-year term as I asked him to. What do you think?
Oh, that's fine. I
You
don't
know,
know.
the whole goal of this was to get this done early in the year so that we wouldn't have to
Right.
fool around with it.
Did he have a reason for only bidding it for 1 year? Or didn't?
No, and I've asked him for bids for these other items and not heard from him, so. I don't have a problem with what he's put forward, but I have asked him for extra items, and
Oh,
we also asked him for a 3-year contract, and I think that that is something he should at least recognize. What shall we do to communicate with him? I guess I'll write him a letter. How's that sound? And ask him to appear at our June meeting?
Yep.
All right. And if he will only extend it for 1 year, I guess then he's got us over the barrel. We'll have to decide that in June. All right, moving on. Item B, discussion and decision on revisions and amendments to town ordinances regulating speed limits and abandoned vehicles. And I guess I determined tonight that Robin and I have found the illegally and abandoned parked vehicle ordinance, and we need to doctor it up and bring it on back. Same with the speed, because we need the regulation lengths of those new roads that we have, so
Okay.
we just have to get that together and bring it on back. And then I guess the way I would approach that is that once we have the completed copies of both these ordinance, you guys should be able to review them. We'll have another meeting for questions and comments, and then we'll go to a public hearing. Possible adoption of both these ordinances in July then. Make sense?
Yeah, but it's on the agenda, so
Yes,
I got a few comments.
go ahead.
I did read this. We're only concerned about abandoned vehicles, obviously, the way this is written. So no junk farm equipment, stuff like that, we're not worried, concerned.
I think,
The ordinance doesn't address that.
no. Would you like it to?
I don't know if that's easy to enforce, but,
Well, you know,
Yeah,
that's
state-
something,
you know, that would be one question I would have. And if it's only for vehicles, that's fine with me. But there are, you know, some junkyards out there that's farm equipment that's of no value.
all right.
And then,
You know, one of the issues with that, Jim, is like, who's to say that that is
Well, I know.
not collectible? And,
Well,
you
and
know,
then
the
they-
whole gist of this is abandoned vehicles need to be without license plates.
yeah,
And this was at the request of our police chief. I don't
that's
know.
fine. If we're just going for vehicles, that's fine with me. The second page, section 4, exceptions, I guess. It says vehicle accessories stored within an enclosed building.
Which
Are we-
line are you on?
69. Second page, 69, line 69.
Okay.
It says within an enclosed building, are we gonna also include or properly screened from public view? Or properly, or screened in an area properly from public view?
Okay.
I mean, you can't just, I think you gotta allow fences too, don't you? Screen,
That's good. We're just writing it, you know?
yeah, I know. There are typos I'm not gonna get into now, there's quite a few errors in this thing, but on the third page, line 115, it says at town's expense, which
Oh,
I don't like that at all, you know.
yeah, as a matter of fact, Matt had talked about that too.
All right.
I don't know how you're gonna recoup any costs that you,
Well, if it's a
Done.
property owner, we can assess a service cost, either an invoice it, and if they
Well,
don't pay, it goes
the-
on the tax bill.
the vehicle here is civil court, which
Oh,
again
okay.
is, I don't think you wanna start doing that.
No. All right.
You'll be in court all the time. So that would be a question I would have on that. And then it's page 635, third from the last line, 230, again, it talks about storing these vehicles for a period of 14 days. Storage of a vehicle is a very expensive proposition. I mean, for the town, if you're gonna confiscate a vehicle, then take it to a storage facility and leave it there for 14 days. I mean, that's just running up costs. I guess, I'm wondering if there isn't a way to leave that vehicle on the person's property, give them the notices, and let it sit there, and then at the end of the 14 days or whatever, then you load it up to haul it away to a junk dealer.
Okay.
I mean, once you get into storage, it's probably,
I
I don't know,
understand.
$100 a day for a vehicle.
Yeah, it depends on who's storing them.
It gets up there pretty fast. Those are my only comments.
Well, those are good comments, and I will sit down and clean this up and have this ready again next month for you guys to look at, and then hopefully we can get it voted on this summer. Item 10, new business. A, discussion and decision on road work proposals from Northwest Services, Mr. Ron Bennett. Mr. Bennett is here. As you guys well know, we are in kind of a world of hurt to get some of our road work done, and I've been talking to several companies about how we might get started. And so Ron has ridden around with me, and we looked at a lot of stuff in the town of Lake Mills, and he agreed to come tonight and talk to you a little bit about what he is proposing. Thank you, Ron, for coming.
I want to give each one, I know that my own computer and buying a new phone, I was messed up this week. So this is how we do everything time and material. I only make four, luckily I did.
That's well. I have one in my possession anyway. Sharon.
Northwest Service has been in business for about 10 years now. I took it over 3 years ago. We work for the townships of Hebron, Palmyra, Cold Spring, and Jefferson. And you can get a hold of anybody on their board and they will tell you that we are Johnny on the spot. We do what we say we're going to do. We do it at a fair price. We have good equipment. I was one of the first ones that bought my own brine setup and did all the brining around the lake at Blue Spring Lake in Palmyra. And that's been really good. I'm building another brine truck right now. We had talked about, I couldn't even put a bid in here because it looks like we're going to get Jefferson to plow. And if we did, I wouldn't be able to do a good job for you because to grow that big, that quick would be very hard. Mainly it's getting people. And would love to be able to handle plow needs for you and everything else in the future if that comes open. We are now doing culverts and we do all hot patch. We have the correct equipment for it. We do temperature readings as we're out there. Our hot box keeps it at 350 degrees. We have the correct signage. We have experienced people and we'd love to do the work for you. Right now it's been really bad for everybody because we use Payne and Dolan for our asphalt and their plants have been shut down, started because of this rain and nobody's starting the big projects, so they just don't keep it open for little guys to grab asphalt. So we're actually behind on our potholing also. We've covered all 4 of our townships that we have right now, all the emergency roads. And we're now onto the secondary roads in their consideration. So that's kind of a little bit about me. If anybody has any questions, what kind of equipment we have and stuff.
Question for you on the tractor with flail mower with operator. Is that for mowing grass and roadside ditches?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. We have 2 of those. They're in really good condition. We have 2 brushing tractors. Long reach, they can reach up to 20 feet. We do all the tree maintenance that you have along the roads. We'll bring a transit and set ditches for you. Pretty much any kind of road need you have. And if I don't have it, I'm willing to invest to get it done.
So what I shared with Ron in the beginning was, I shared with him our list of potholes. And we looked at a lot of potholes.
There is a lot of them.
And I also shared with him our list of shouldering and wedging. He was challenging me a little on a wedge. He still doesn't really know what a wedge is, so I have to show him that.
No, Ed showed me from Palmyra. I got it now.
You know, we got a lot of work that has to be done. I'm a little concerned because he's got so many other things to do, but what he explained to me was that he thought that he could work a week here, work a week here, work a week here, work a week here. I don't know when our week is, but it damn well better be coming quick or someone's gonna chase me down the road.
Like I said, we've hit all the emergency roads for all 4 of the other people. They're all happy. Now we're on all the back roads doing it, so we could. And I don't know where, I think that, I believe, I don't think that the closest asphalt plant to you guys is LaGrange. I think there's even a closer one here. That's actually what eats up time, is running to get
Well,
hot
we
patch.
have always worked with Jay at Bedrock, and Jay has always gone to Wolf Paving and purchased that, or we have purchased the hot mix
Where do you get, where do
I
they
think
pick
that
it up
this
at
is in
Wells?
Sun Prairie.
Some Prairie,
Yeah.
or I think you can get it there at Oconomowoc plant, but I don't know where that one is. They just
I
talk.
don't know what is closer. And then we were talking about gravel, and I said, you know, I don't know who has the closest gravel plant, but probably TNT Stone or somebody like that.
I mean, I'll do my research on it to find out.
And the shouldering, we can hold off on, but the potholes, we gotta have some attention on.
What was Jay gonna do any pothole, or was he out of it now?
Jay is totally out of it as far as
Okay.
I'm concerned,
And we need to do something
and we gotta do it quick.
yesterday.
Okay?
What I would like to do is get started with you, Ron, because we're kind of over a barrel here. I don't know when you can give us 40 hours, or if you can do that in 1 week or a couple, you know, it depends totally on the weather. I guess as a board, I don't know how you guys feel, but I think it's worked really well. I really would like to have hot mix for potholes. I would be more than willing to pay for that separately so that we could pay you for the labor on these things. And just kind of get a start.
Main the reason for that is because you're not tax exempt.
Right,
We would be.
right.
And we already have a relationship with Wolf. I don't, and of course with Payne and Dolan too, however you would want to
Payne and Dolan.
decide to do that, you know.
That's what I'd like to do if you guys have a rapport with them.
And where is that?
I would have to find out where the closest one to you is. LaGrange would not be close.
No.
But I know there's something closer because my guy that does the asphalting told me there was. I cannot remember the name of it. They have 38 plants in the state of
Yes,
Wisconsin,
so that shouldn't be a problem.
So I'll look. I mean, if you guys want to use Wolf and it works out to be time-wise better for you, I have no problem using their product. But I'm,
It's just a matter of where is the most efficient and cost-effective. for
right, and
you.
we're having really good success with Payne and Dolan
Okay,
stuff.
and that's fine, we have a good relationship with them. You and me would probably need to set up the account and make sure that he knows what we're doing. I have his contact. I guess what I'd like to do tonight is see what you guys think and sort of set out a budget, not to exceed or something like that, so that we can get these darn potholes filled. And it's almost every road in our town.
I don't know if you, how would you do that, Hope? If you say not to exceed $5,000, but we got 3 roads left to do.
Yeah.
We just have to do it.
Do it. I agree.
Well, like I said, I really
Our budget, our road budget.
Yeah.
What do we got
That's
left?
180,
I
yeah.
would appreciate it if you guys did call the towns, because I know when you look at that, I mean, I know if I was looking at it without knowing us, it looks hard to fathom that kind of work and then how much time, because it takes 3 people to do hot patch, to do it right. Because somebody's got to be cleaning the holes, and we have the highest output air blower they have. And if it gets anything more than 4 inches, we actually tamp it twice. You know, because some of the big ones are 6, 8 inches now.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Duck pond.
So we're doing it with the idea that the guy that runs all the Payne and Dolan asphalting plants, the guy that's actually in charge of them all, went to school with me since 8th grade. And I told him, I want to be the best guy at this there is. What can you tell me I got to do? He says, well, if you do it right, it should be like the real road, as long as there's a base underneath it. So even some of them, we're actually putting 3/4 TB and tamping the 3/4 TB. So we're coming pretty prepared to do it right. It's up to you how right you want to have it done. We just want to do it right. Now, we have all 4 of the townships we're doing right now. Give us, just do it. They just trust us. If you call them and talk to
I think you're kind of
them.
getting that signal here, Ron. I think you're kind of getting that signal here.
Yeah, okay, good. Just-
I just want you to get going and make it happen.
Sooner the better. Some of them are getting pretty deep.
Do you have a number 1 road that's like, do you have the worst road? Seems like everybody does. Every town does.
Somebody on Britsky Road just keeps calling me.
That's gonna come up later.
We actually went down one road today just to take care of one hole because the town board guy told me, this person has called me every day. They don't understand when I tell them Payne and Dolan has got their asphalt plant closed, we can't do it. So we went there and did that one hole today.
The list, you know, but you know, you've seen our township. We have some residential areas that are important, but at the same time, a lot of the other roads are full of holes. And so, you know, whatever makes sense for you when you start looking at that map of town roads to start where and work it through. You know, I can show you again how we do our road tour and how we work it through, but you'll
That
have to
might be
figure
good for
out.
me because, you know, the one time we ran through here, we really ran through it. When you look the first time after about 3 roads, I'm like, okay, so now where am I?
Brain
You know,
dead.
I've done enough turns and enough up and down hills to, until I saw the lake, I was like, am I really in Lake Mills? So,
All right, we can work together.
okay.
So, figure out when you're coming, work with me, let me know, we'll look for an invoice, you know we meet on the second Tuesday.
Yep.
It's great to have our invoices in the mailbox here the first week of the month by Friday so that we can process them for the next
We're
Tuesday.
usually a week to a week and a half ahead of our invoicing. And then it's the second Tuesday of every month.
Just give us some time to react.
And that's the other thing, and that's, so it'll be either me or a representative from Northwest. And it can be board meetings, every board meeting. I've done that at every single one.
Okay,
As long as it'll only not be me if there's a conflict. And where I gotta go. Then I'll send one of my employees. So that way you can face to face and if you ever happen to have like during snow plowing, so that's the most important. Because I got a person that comes in and says, everybody keeps pushing someone in my driveway. And then one of my guys can actually go talk to the person that runs that route and say, hey, what are you doing here? You can't, you know. So,
customer service.
yeah. It's all about doing the best you can, and then once you've done the best you can, then that's it.
Right, and I think we can work together to set up these accounts on asphalt and gravel and kind of move forward from there.
Okay.
Plenty of work to be done on those roads to put a Band-Aid on them, so thank you, and thanks for coming.
Yep, no problem.
Appreciate it. Thank you, thanks for your time.
Then you get another building and another person to start doing business with.
Great,
you know.
appreciate it. All right, thanks,
Super,
thank you, thanks. Safe trip home.
I'll get a hold of you. I'll see you in the next couple days.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Bye now.
Bye. B, discussion and decision on bids for airport road work.
Jeff
we did.
LeVake said that he called me a couple days ago and wanted to know where he stood on the bids for that culvert and also Airport Road. And I told him I'd let him know.
Well, where's his paperwork?
I don't know. I'm assuming he dropped it off here.
I have one too. I think he sent it via email. We were waiting for Forrest to get 1 and 2. There was somebody else for culvert.
Well, I talked
Can you
to
pull that up, Robin?
about 6 or 8 different
Yep.
contractors.
I'll get the numbers for you.
We're kind of down to the wire on this.
Yeah, we got especially the culvert on Mud Lake Road. Every time I go down there, the cone is tipped over. Because it's still there, I've been down there for a few days.
It's fun to drive over those cones.
Or see if you can go fast enough to tip them over.
All right.
So he bid that too?
Yes.
So-
He said he was going to, I don't know if he
Mud Lake Road, it says replace culvert under road with a new 15-inch by 30-foot round with ends.
Yep,
Remove all culvert and fill, gravel to surface, not including new blacktop.
Right.
right?
That is $6,500. Airport Road, install two 15-inch by 30-foot oval culverts with ends for field access and to clean ditch is marked on road, center of ditch to be seeded and straw netted placed down a center of ditch. That is $7,650 for a total of both projects of $14,150. Any second, I forwarded it to you.
All right, I don't think we have any other bids, do you?
Nope, I've not received anything else.
I would make a motion to approve the expenditure of $14,150 to Levake Excavating for the culvert on Mud Lake Road and also for the 2 culverts and the excavation of the ditch on Airport Road.
Second. Robin, what was the last part about the seating? I just wanna make sure that
Sure.
matches with what Jeff had
Center
told
of ditch to be seeded and straw netting placed down center of ditch.
me. Okay, right, yeah, cause he talked about the
Erosion
netting.
control.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's what he said.
And then, I had some details in there about when the work needed to be done. I guess I'd sure like to have the work done before the,
Road gets
road
built.
work
Before they do
gets
anything.
put together.
I think, we were talking, the month of June for, Airport Road, but as soon as possible on Mud Lake Road.
Okay,
Culvert
So
replacement.
June for airport and
he can go till
ASAP
June
on
30th on airport, and he has to do ASAP
mud.
on Mud Lake.
Okay.
Are you going to email him, Robin, or you want me to call him
I
tomorrow?
will email him so we have a written record of what we
Okay.
contacted
Yes, I
about.
think that would
Excellent.
be best.
Super.
That's gonna be a problem.
Okay.
Okay, item C, discussion and decision on town computer equipment. Ryan, I want you to start this discussion since you're sitting there, and you need to tell us what you need.
For computer equipment,
Yes? What you just said to me earlier.
well, we've got a computer on the boat, but by 2021, we're gonna need all new radios, because the county is switching all of the stuff over to, I believe, straight digital.
Okay,
And just from the meeting that I attended earlier in April, they were talking about doing that switchover by mid-June, mid-2021.
okay.
So that's just kind of a rough, I don't know if that's finalized by Jefferson County or not, but
Yeah, but
that's,
it's just what we need to know as we plan for
Sure.
these electronics. Is there anything else now?
Now, can we get on and purchase right along with the county to save some money? 'Cause sometimes there's grants when, there's a mandatory radio update and all that stuff, rather than having to do it alone.
that I'm not sure. I know GenCom was there at the meeting. I don't know if that's who they're gonna get the radios through. I don't know if our portable radios will be compatible with, some of our portable radios are gonna have to be replaced because they're the old style ones.
Right, yeah,
That
analog.
still work. So we may need new portable radios as well as, both the squad and boat needing a new radio. I don't know if they had any package deals. I don't know. They didn't really, there wasn't really a lot of talk about pricing for that, other than the overall price just to update the county.
All right, here's what I want you to take back to your chief. I think that you guys need to do some budgeting on this.
Okay.
And I think that you also need to look at the status of your laptop and any other electronic equipment that you have, and kind of, so we can kind of get that in a rotation of replacement.
Okay.
It was new in 2018, 17, but staying new doesn't last very long in this day and age, so I think we need to just look at that,
Okay.
equipment-wise. And I think that's what we need to do on this side of the table too. We need to look at, just to switch gears, we were looking at some telephone service
Yes.
and how we want to do that.
And I talked to Matt a little bit about it, and there's no need to have a landline coming to the building here, so we probably will eliminate that landline. As long as he has a scanner in order to send things to the county or wherever he needs to go, rather than using the fax machine. So I have a scanner you could use temporarily until you can budget to get a new
And
one.
so he'll be talking about budgeting for a scanner too. All right?
So we'll work on getting those phone lines, and this sounds like there's a good program through, I think it was US Cellular, to get a good rate on some of the different phones for the police as well. So we'll keep plugging away at that.
Rome wasn't built in a day, so
No,
we can
it
figure
takes
that
some
out.
planning. Now, I talked to Sharon, and I believe, how old is your laptop? That's from the first time we
7 to 8 years old.
purchased. Yeah. So she has 7 to 8 years old.
So yours is 8 years old.
You've had the original one from when you first got one.
Yeah. That's a long
Okay,
time
and the
ago.
one you have is back on
2017.
task.
It works. It's got a weird line that goes through it, and there's some things that, but it's working
Well, I think here again, this needs to be a budgeted item.
in a rotation. So
Yeah.
it's not all of them are hitting
Yep,
at the same
yep.
time. Yeah.
Well, we kind of know now, we got this happening in '21. We probably need to look at, I don't feel good about not having that computer happy.
Yeah.
I would say the printer is getting real too, the clerk's printer.
Right, because it doesn't talk to the laptop like it should anymore. To scan things, you have to do a little flash drive, and it's not very efficient working at all. Very inefficient, in
And that's
fact.
on a contract, recorded flash, so I don't know if you want to keep doing that or look for other.
Yeah, I had asked Sarah how much you were spending on that, and you said like 12 to 1,400 a year.
No, I don't actually remember. You'd have to look.
Okay,
Yeah, we looked it up, it was something like that.
okay, and that included ink, I believe, right? That included ink?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe we need to crunch the numbers
And supplies.
to see if it is better to stay in a contract with them that includes ink, or to purchase a new machine in a rotation every 3 years and just purchase our own ink. We'll have to see which is more
We better
cost
budget
effective.
for something for Sharon too.
Yeah, when was the last time you got a new printer or anything for,
When you were on the board.
okay, so
Well,
at
you
least
guys,
6 years.
you know, you got time for that, figure that out. And the other thing is, you know, we had those guys lay here last month and they wanted to project something and our projector is all,
Does not talk to the current laptop, which it could be a driver issue too. We could see if we can get a new driver onto the laptop that might be able to use that old projector.
we gotta make it happen though.
Yep, a new projector, I would say, is probably about 150 to get a decent one. I just recently purchased one for personal use, so it's not too costly to get a decent one. The other thing, can I update the flip phone for the clerk's phone line?
I wish you would.
Okay, thank you.
Well, these are things that we need to attend to, and I think you should be empowered to do that. You're the one who has to use it, so do you, Sharon. You need to know what you're using and feel comfortable with it. I think we need to get the projector going for sure. I don't know how you guys feel, but I think we need to be looking at that as a rotation in our budget. So it doesn't all come in one year, but we gotta clean this up.
Feel like right now in the budget for just office supplies, that we could start with projector to get that up and running again?
Yes, and I feel really strongly that if you need a new laptop that's functional, then we should cash that one in and get one that works. Dang
Well,
it.
so far it's working, but I think biggest thing is just backing up.
How many checks do we have to write to that computer for dummies or whatever it is?
It's only been a couple and he's cheap, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's been real helpful.
Yeah,
I just don't want you to be floundering, okay?
yep, appreciate that.
So we'll put that together.
Now look into getting a projector, so maybe by next month we'll be up and running with that again, and I'll get my phone updated.
Okay. Anything else, office equipment wise?
By the way, a lot of the newer
That's
has been maintenance, IT type stuff, not so much fixing. Just because I didn't feel confident doing that myself.
Great, appreciate it. Okay, item D, board expense sheet approval.
You got any?
I have nothing.
No.
Nothing?
Nobody went anywhere, nobody had any fun. Item 11, correspondence.
All right. Talked about potholes earlier, and I got the phone call from Blaine
Yes.
Ambrisky Road as well as there was an email from Jan Hazel about potholes on Mud Lake Road. I don't know if that one had been forwarded, that was a while back. I got an email from Mark Seabranick out on
Sebronic.
Sebronic on Nipert Road, wants to know when we're gonna be coming around to clean up the winter sand.
Yes.
I told him I'd ask him tonight, ask you guys tonight if that is something that we intend on doing. Kind of out of the loop on what you guys had talked about in the past, so I don't know what,
We had a commitment from
Scott's.
Scott's to do our sweeping, and I saw them the night of our countywide meeting in Waterloo, or
Watertown.
Watertown.
Okay.
And they were poised to begin sweeping, but I think.
Including Nipert Road?
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
but they're
behind.
behind on their weather too.
All right. I'll let him know that it's on the to-do
Mr.
list.
Sobranic will become your good friend.
Okay. Then we got a request for a special event, the Cannonball Run from the Friends of the Cambridge Area EMS. That's going to be on next month's agenda. I asked them to fill out a proper application and get it into us. See, then we have a request for a conditional use coming up for a dog kennel on London Road from Greg and Sarah Heidemann. That'll be coming through. I think we anticipate a couple of other rezones possibly. I forget the gentleman's name. Chandler White.
Chandler White.
Yep.
And the Schwarz.
Yes, and then I believe there might be one other special event coming up for next month.
Okay. Item 12, meeting scheduled. May 16th is open book here at the town hall from 4 until 6 p.m. That's open to anyone in the township who would like to review the assessments. June 3rd is the Board of Review here again at the town hall from 4:30 to 6:30. June 4th, 2019, Joint Rock Lake Committee at 6 p.m. June 4th, Town Planning Committee at 8 p.m. I wanted to sneak this in. The meeting of the Deerfield Town Board, in which they said they would talk to me about our snow plowing issue, is Monday, June 10th. What time do they meet, Robin?
7.
7. I will make sure that we are on their agenda. And also then, our meeting is the following night, town board meeting, June 11th at 8 p.m.
Now, if you guys, more than one of you, plan on attending that June 10th.
We'll ask you to post that.
I'll post a quorum notice, so,
Post it just in case.
okay.
And we'll go from there. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I second it.
Just a second.
All in
Yeah.
favor?
Well, just wait, just
Please
wait,
say aye.
just wait, just wait.
What?
Jim's got something.
I want to know if we can add, and I don't know where you are, the
What?
UTV, ATV ordinance on next agenda.
Yes.
We had that request, so that's on my list.
And I guess that we should talk about that. I think that those guys were a little surprised, as maybe you board members were, but as we changed offices and had our little meeting, I said, never again am I going to be pushed for time by someone who comes to us and wants to be hurry up quick on the planning commission agenda or hurry up quick on the town board agenda. We're gonna stick to a full 10 days of notice prior to the planning commission and prior to the town board so that we have time to process that.
Yep. Only in cases of emergency where something really needs to happen for safety reasons should we change that agenda. And I did post all the deadlines to the agendas on the town's web calendar, so it's very clear to any applicant when that deadline is. We're gonna be strict on
Now
it.
you can adjourn.
A motion to adjourn. All in
Done.
favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.